Hi, artists. Welcome back. Today, I want to talk to you about finishing off your paint palette construction by adding a coil on the back or the bottom. The first thing I'm going to do, I did this already on here, but you just want to make a little mark so you know where that coil is going to go. I'm going to cut little pieces of slabs to get my coil started. Hello? All right. Sorry, Mr. Johnson interrupted me. So I'm slicing pieces of a slab to get started. I usually have leftover slab sections from cutting out my design. So this can be really useful. So I've got this little chunk. And to make a good slab, I want to just work really slowly, really gently. Let the clay kind of work itself out. There's a little lump, just work it. You don't need to apply a lot of pressure. Just the motion of this very lightly is going to create a nice, even coil. So really even, very strong. All right, so now we need to do something called scratch and attach or score and slip. I don't usually use slip, so I tend to say scratch and attach. So what this means is I need to create a way that this is going to connect. These are a couple tools that I like to use for scratch and attach. Everybody in Ceramics 1, you should have one of these in your box. What you want to do is literally scratch. We are roughing up the clay. This works just fine. If you feel like you want something a little bit sharper, there are several of these in a jar over by the low fire clay. You can go ahead and grab one of those to use while you're here. But please put it back because I don't have enough for everyone. All right, so I'm going to scratch all over my guideline. I kind of think of this step as sort of like creating Velcro for my clay to attach these two pieces together. I'm also going to score or scratch on the coil itself because Velcro has two sides, right? You can also use some liquid clay or slip to attach it, or vinegar. What I'm going to use today is just water. But if this has gotten like a little bit drier than I like, vinegar is a really good option. I'm just going to give it a little spritz here. I'm only spraying on the most dry piece. This coil is really fresh plastic clay, so I don't need to do that there. I'm going to choose a spot to start. The scratched sides are going to touch each other. All right, and this was not enough coil to do the whole thing. That is not a problem. We can always make more coils. All right, I still want to scratch it. All right, so this coil is a little thinner than my first one. For my purposes here, I'm not going to worry about it too much. If I want, I can sort of reinforce this spot here and sort of mold these together. All right, so the scratching is sort of like Velcro. I tend to think of adding the water, slip, or vinegar as like glue so that it's not Velcro that can be undone. It is permanent. And I'm going to smooth this as well. I want this to look really pro. I don't want to leave all those scratch marks there. And also if I smooth the wet little bit of clay in under there, it's going to make it really strong, make this connected. All right. So even though these little scratch marks are not going to touch like a tabletop, I still want to have it really smooth and lovely. All right, and once I finish this, so I'm not finished yet, but when I do get finished attaching this and smoothing it out, I'm going to go ahead and sign my name on here. So everybody will know that this belongs to me. I don't want anybody to see how cool your palette is and try to claim it for themselves when you were the one that made it. So mark your name on there as the maker. And that's the thing that professional ceramic artists do as well. They always sign their work or have a stamp that indicates their name or the whatever they call their studio. And even after I get this all finished, what I'm gonna do is still wrap it in plastic, leave it there for about a day. Whenever you add stuff, whenever you add pieces of clay, especially if one is a little bit more wet than the other, it's really helpful to let them dry really slowly together so that that moisture level really evens out. All right, let me know what questions y'all have in Open Lab. Thanks.